On September 11, 2001, terrorist attacks murdered 2,977 people and injured thousands more and left many children without a parent. The intentional attack also rocked our country, and we've never been the same. It set off a string of events, including our nation's longest war in Afghanistan. The fallout permanently changed lives, international relations, and day-to-day processes, even like airport security. 19 hijackers carried out the attacks, which were orchestrated by al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. But it is thought that there were others involved in this deadly plot. The others include 5 men still held at GITMO. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, a Pakistani extremist terrorist, is one of those 5. He's been held at GITMO since 2006. In 2004, the government's 9/11 Commission report referred to Sheikh Mohammed as, quote, the principal architect of the 9/11 attacks. Earlier this month, the Pentagon and FBI sent letters to the families of 9/11 victims with an update. The Department of Justice is considering offering the 5 men, now known as the GITMO Five, plea deals. According to the letter, the group would, quote, accept criminal responsibility for their actions and plead guilty in exchange for not receiving the death penalty, end of quote. Prosecution of the GITMO Five has been repeatedly delayed over legal disputes, particularly over the use of torture that the men initially experienced while in CIA custody. Thousands of family members who lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks are urging President Joe Biden not to offer the 5 any plea agreement. Some family members believe the government wants to avoid a public trial since it may reveal U.S. intelligence failures and Saudi government involvement in the attacks. Brett Eagleson was only 15 years old when he lost his father in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. He now heads 9/11 Justice, a grassroots movement that advocates for victims' family. Brett Eagleson joins me now. Nice to talk to you, Brett.
Thank you for having me, Greta.
Brett, I want to first start with the question is, tell me, what was your father like?
My father was a great dad. He had a busy work life. He had a busy schedule, but he always took time out of his day to be a coach. He coached me in baseball, football, and basketball, and coached my 2 other brothers as well. We love to do things outdoors together like fishing and play golf. So he was a great father and a role model for me as I'm a relatively new father. I have a daughter that's 3 and a son that's 1.
And what you're sort of leaving out of that description is that on 9/11 he was also a hero.
He was, yeah. He was on the 17th floor of the South Tower. He survived the impact of both planes. He spoke to my oldest brother, Kyle, on the phone and assured Kyle that he was okay. My brother was pleading with him to get out of the towers, to which he said that he was going to do everything that he could, and he was going to get out. He was going to help with the evacuation process, and then he himself was going to get out. What we later discovered and found out was from a former colleague that as they were leaving the building, my dad kind of turned around and saw the pandemonium and saw that the FDNY was having a very difficult time communicating with other members of the FDNY. And my dad, being in charge of the mall operations in the subterranean space, remembered that he had a box of those portable 2-way radios that you often see the maintenance staff using to communicate with each other. So he told his colleague, you guys get out. I'm going to go back to the 17th. I'm going to grab the radios and I'm going to bring them to the FDNY command post, make sure there's nobody stuck in the stair, make sure the 17th is clear. And that was his plan. And that was the last anybody had heard from him. We don't know how far along the way he got, but at some point in that journey, the building fell on him.
And of course, you've never been able to bury him. You've never recovered him. Now let me turn to this letter from the Pentagon, the Department of Justice, and the idea of this plea deal with the GITMO Five. What are your thoughts on this?
It's very sickening. It's very disturbing. I haven't been sleeping well. A lot of family members have been reaching out to me saying, what can we do? And unfortunately, I don't have many answers for them. What can we do when the intelligence agencies of this country ignore presidential executive order? What can we do when prior presidents have invoked the state secrets principle on us? What can we do when it seems like there's nothing we can do to get to the real truth behind this? And now our government has gone to the extent of offering plea deals to these terrorists 22 years later to avoid having a public trial, to avoid them from spilling the beans on everything they know about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. Look, we have fought tooth and nail for 22 years to get the very little bit of information that we have from the federal government. Every piece of information that we've gotten to date, the finger points directly back to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for financing and supporting these hijackers. Now our government has gone to this length to offer a plea deal in regards to the worst terrorist attack in this country and the most consequential events ever to happen to this country. We're just going to settle away and it's going to whimper out with a plea deal. It's unconscionable. This can't be the America that we all live in. This can't be the America that we all love.
Brett Eagleson, thank you very much. Obviously, my heart grieves for your family. I mean, all those who, were alive on 9/11 and witnessed the, everything that happened. It's unthinkable. Anyway, Brett, good luck, sir.
Thank you.